All right, let's talk about one of the most powerful tools you have for your health. And you know what? It's probably right in front of you. Today, we're going to break down the science of building a heart-healthy plate. And more importantly, turn all that science into a super simple plan you can start using, well, today.
So first, let's just get the big, scary fact out of the way. Cardiovascular disease. It's not just a health issue. It is the #1 cause of death around the world. We're talking about things like heart attacks and strokes. It's a heavy reality, for sure, but here's the thing you need to remember. A huge piece of this puzzle is tied directly to what we eat. And that's actually where the good news comes in. Because while things like genetics, yeah, they play a role, one of your absolute best defenses against this #1 killer isn't some fancy, complicated medical thing. It's something you have access to every single day, right there in your own kitchen.
Okay, so just how direct is this link? Well, the science on this it's just crystal clear. The food we eat has a direct line to the biggest risk factors for heart disease. Stuff like our blood pressure, our cholesterol levels, even the amount of inflammation in our bodies. Really, every meal is a choice that's nudging those dials up or down.
So to make this all a little easier to grasp, let's think about the stuff in our food as heroes and villains. It's a really simple way to get a handle on which foods are fighting for your heart and which ones are working against it.
So here we go, this is the matchup. On the villain team, you've got saturated and trans fats, the stuff you find in red meat, fried foods, a lot of processed snacks. Their main job? They raise your bad LDL cholesterol, which can clog up your arteries like a massive traffic jam. And right next to them is excess sodium, which is a major driver of high blood pressure. But look over at the hero side. Unsaturated fats, from things like olive oil, avocados, and nuts, they actually help clear out that bad cholesterol. They're like the cleanup crew. And then you have potassium from foods like spinach and bananas, which literally fights back against sodium and helps your blood vessels relax. It's a total game changer.
And within that hero category, you've got your all-stars, omega-3s. These fats are incredible. They're powerful anti-inflammatories, they help keep your heart beating in a nice steady rhythm, and they're fantastic at lowering triglycerides. That's just another type of fat in your blood that you really want to keep under control. But the hero team is way bigger than just healthy fats. The entire plant kingdom offers up this incredible defensive line for your heart. And we're not just talking about basic vitamins here. These are powerful compounds with very specific protective jobs to do.
Check out the key players on that team. First up, you've got soluble fiber. Think oats and apples. It literally grabs onto cholesterol and just walks it right out of your body. Then there are antioxidants, from berries, even dark chocolate, that go to battle against inflammation. And finally, plant sterols. Think of these like bouncers at the door of your gut, just stopping bad cholesterol from even getting inside in the first place.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like a lot to keep track of. Heroes, villains, defensive teams. But the great news is, you don't have to figure this all out on your own. Scientists and doctors have already put all these principles together into proven, effective game plans.
And that's the key takeaway here. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. These ways of eating have been studied for years and years, and we know they work for heart health. You can just pick a blueprint that's already been tested and has a great track record.
So let's look at the 3 most famous blueprints. First, the Mediterranean diet. It's all about those healthy fats from olive oil and fish with tons of vegetables and whole grains. It's kind of an amazing all-around approach. Then there's the DASH diet. That actually stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. And, well, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It's fantastic for lowering blood pressure. And finally, you have plant-based diets, which focus on whole plant foods and are absolute powerhouses when it comes to lowering cholesterol, blood pressure, and body weight.
And just so you know, we're not talking about tiny little changes here. Just to give you an idea of how powerful this is, a landmark study on the Mediterranean diet showed it could cut the risk of major heart events, we're talking heart attacks and strokes, by a whopping 30%. 30%? That is a massive, real-world impact.
Okay, so we've covered the science, we've looked at the blueprints. Now for the most important part of all. How do you actually do this? Let's switch gears from the what and the why to the how.
Here are 4 super simple but really powerful steps you can start with today. Number 1, prioritize whole foods. Just try to build your meals around ingredients that look as close as possible to how they grew. 2, become a label detective. Seriously, start looking for hidden sodium and added sugars. And always look for the words partially hydrogenated oils. That's just sneaky code for trans fats. 3, cook more at home. It's the ultimate power move, giving you total control over what goes on your plate. And 4, this is an easy one.
Just swap sugary drinks for water. It's such a simple change with enormous benefits.
You know, I think this quote from Anne Wigmore just says it all. Every single thing you eat, every meal, every snack, it's a choice. It's a chance to build your health up, to protect your heart. The power is literally right there on your plate.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question. This isn't about changing your entire life overnight. It's about making one small positive choice. Think back to that list of heroes. The avocado, the salmon, the spinach, the berries. What's just one of those heroes you could add to your very next meal? Something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.